Have you ever walked into a room, shared a thought, and felt the energy instantly dissipate, as if your words were ghosts passing through the people you wanted to impress? You speak, they nod, and then their eyes drift to their phones or someone else across the room. It is a quiet, stinging rejection, the realization that you are present, but you aren't being felt. You are participating in the conversation, but you are not commanding it. Here are the 7 phrases that utilize this framework to attract anyone, in any context. Phrase 1. I've never thought of it that way before. Most people approach a conversation as a competition of intellect. They wait for their turn to speak so they can offer a counterpoint or show how much they already know. This creates a subtle friction. However, when you say, I've never thought of it that way before, you are performing a high-status gift. You are signaling that the other person has expanded your world. Psychologically, this validates their competence. It signals that they are providing value, which immediately lowers their social defenses. It shifts the dynamic from a debate to a discovery. Imagine someone explaining their unique approach to their work or a hobby. Instead of saying cool or I do something similar, you pause and let their words hang for a second and say, I've never thought of it that way before. You have just rewarded them for speaking to you. They will instinctively want to talk to you more because you make them feel intelligent. But here is what most people get wrong. You cannot just say the words. You have to allow the silence to follow them. Let the realization land. This is the first step in becoming a reflector. Phrase 2. What's the hardest part about that for you? We spend most of our lives in the functional layer of conversation. We talk about what we do, where we went, and what happened. This is safe, but it is also forgettable. To attract someone deeply, you must move into the emotional basement, the place where their actual motivations live. When you ask, what's the hardest part about that? You are giving the other person permission to stop performing. Whether they are talking about a promotion, a new workout routine, or raising a child, every pursuit has a struggle. By asking about the difficulty, you show that you are not just listening to the facts, but you are empathetic to the effort. This creates an immediate bond of trust. You aren't just looking at the mask they wear, you're acknowledging the person behind it. This is where the connection shifts from casual to significant. Phrase 3. You seem like the kind of person who you are. This is a technique known as identity labeling. Most people wait for others to tell them who they are. When you take the initiative to observe and label a positive trait in someone else, you are practicing a form of social alchemy. For example, if someone is describing how they handled a difficult client, you might say, you seem like the kind of person who values integrity over an easy win. By doing this, you aren't just complimenting them, you are defining their identity. Because people have a psychological need for consistency, they will subconsciously strive to live up to the label you just gave them. They will feel an intense attraction to you because you see them in a way others don't. You aren't just another person they're talking to, you are the person who understands their core. Phrase 4. I noticed how you... The next one is perhaps the most dangerous if used insincerely, but the most powerful when genuine. Almost no one notices the small things. We notice the big entrance, the loud joke, or the expensive watch. But we rarely notice the way someone listens, the way they phrased a specific sentence, or how they made sure a stranger felt included. When you say, I noticed how you took the time to explain that to him, or I noticed how you stayed calm when things got chaotic, you are proving that you are paying a level of attention that 99% of the world is too distracted to give. It is the ultimate form of respect. It tells the other person that they are under a microscope, but a kind one. This creates a sense of intimacy in a crowd that is incredibly rare and highly magnetic. Phrase 5. Tell me more about specific detail. The death of a conversation is the generic follow-up. That's cool, or wow, really? Or the sounds of a connection dying. To keep the momentum, you must use the precision probe. By picking one specific detail from their last 3 sentences and asking them to expand on it, you demonstrate high-level active listening. If they say, I went to Japan last year and the architecture in Kyoto was mind-blowing, don't ask, how was the food? Instead, say, tell me more about the architecture in Kyoto. What specifically blew your mind? This forces the speaker to go deeper into their own passion. As they explain it, they experience a flow state. Because you were the catalyst for that flow state, their brain will associate that feeling of pleasure and excitement with you. You become the source of their own self-expression. Phrase 6. I trust your judgment on this. There is a profound difference between asking for advice and telling someone you trust their judgment. Asking for advice can sometimes feel like a burden. Telling someone you trust their judgment is an elevation of their status. This phrase is incredibly effective in professional and romantic settings alike. It signals that you recognize their competence and are willing to be influenced by them. In the psychology of attraction, there is a concept called investment. The more someone feels they have contributed to you or helped you, the more they actually like you. This is the Ben Franklin effect. By saying, I trust your judgment, you are inviting them to invest in you. You are giving them a position of authority in the relationship, which paradoxically makes you seem more confident and secure. Only a person with high self-esteem can afford to defer to the judgment of others. Phrase 7. What if we? This is the transition from I and you to us. Most conversations are two separate entities bouncing off each other like billiard balls. To truly attract someone, you must create a shared reality. Using the phrase, what if we, even in a hypothetical or playful sense, builds a bridge. It could be as simple as, what if we found a place that actually served decent coffee? Or as significant as, what if we looked at this problem from a completely different angle? This phrase invites the other person into a collaborative future. It suggests partnership. It removes the wall of otherness and replaces it with togetherness. It is the linguistic foundation of chemistry. But here's what most people get wrong about these phrases. They think it's about the words themselves. It's not. It's about the underlying shift in your internal state. If you use these phrases as tricks to manipulate, people will sense the incongruence. They will feel the salesman energy, and they will pull away. The secret to why these phrases work isn't found in the vocabulary, but in the philosophy of radical presence. To use them effectively, you must actually care about the answer. You must be willing to be changed by the conversation. This is where everything changes. Most people enter a conversation trying to maintain their own identity. The attractive person enters a conversation willing to let their identity be shaped by the exchange. When you stop trying to be the center of the universe, you paradoxically become the sun that everyone else wants to orbit. You become a person of depth in a world of surface-level noise. You become a person who doesn't just talk, but who communicates. This level of social mastery is not about being smooth. It is about being perceptive. It is the discipline of looking past the words people say and hearing the music they are playing underneath. It requires you to step out of your own ego and into the shoes of another. As you begin to integrate these phrases into your daily life, you will notice a shift. People will start to linger longer when they talk to you. They will share things they haven't told others. They will seek out your opinion and your presence. This isn't magic. It's simply the natural result of treating another person's identity with the reverence it deserves. Reflect on your last few conversations. How much of that time was spent trying to be seen, and how much was spent truly seeing the other person? The path to being a magnetic communicator begins with the realization that your value is not in what you say about yourself, but in how you make others feel about themselves when they are with you. Mastery of conversation is mastery of the self. It is the wisdom to know that the most powerful thing you can ever be is an open door for someone else's story. If this perspective on human dynamics resonated with you, I invite you to reflect on which of these phrases felt the most difficult to say. Often, the one we avoid is the one we need the most. Consider subscribing to continue this exploration into the psychology of influence and the art of living with quiet authority. Leave a comment below at the time someone made you feel truly seen. It's a rare gift and one worth sharing.